A trip to the pumpkin patch. Today, I want to write about my trip to the pumpkin patch. It was a wonderful experience, and I had so much fun picking pumpkins. Autumn is my favorite season, and going to the pumpkin patch is one of my favorite activities. I can't wait to share all the details with you. Getting ready for the trip. This morning, I woke up feeling excited. I knew that today was the day my family and I were going to the pumpkin patch. I quickly got out of bed, brushed my teeth, and got dressed. I chose to wear a cozy sweater and my favorite jeans, because the weather was a bit chilly. After breakfast, I helped my mom pack snacks for the trip. We made sandwiches, packed some fruit, and brought along cookies for dessert. I was happy to help, and I knew these snacks would be perfect for our day out. Arriving at the pumpkin patch. At around 10 a.m., we got in the car and drove to the pumpkin patch. The drive was pleasant, and I enjoyed looking at the colorful trees along the road. The leaves were changing to beautiful shades of red, orange, and yellow, which made everything feel festive. When we arrived at the pumpkin patch, I felt a wave of excitement. There were many cars parked, and I could see families walking around with big smiles. The entrance had a big sign that said, "Welcome to the pumpkin patch." It made me feel happy to be there. Exploring the pumpkin patch. As we entered the patch, I saw rows and rows of pumpkins in all shapes and sizes. There were small pumpkins, big pumpkins, round ones, and even some that were funny shapes. I felt like I was in a pumpkin paradise. My dad took some pictures of us as we walked in. We grabbed a small wagon to help carry our pumpkins. I was excited to start searching for the perfect pumpkin. My parents and I began walking through the fields, looking at all the pumpkins. I loved the feeling of the sun on my face and the fresh air all around us. Picking the perfect pumpkin. After a few minutes of exploring, I spotted a beautiful, big pumpkin. It was bright orange and perfectly round. I ran over to it and said, "This is the one." My parents came to look, and they agreed that it was a great choice. Next, we continued to look for more pumpkins. I found a smaller pumpkin that was very cute. It had a unique shape and a nice color. I thought it would be perfect for decorating. My dad also found a funny-looking pumpkin that was a bit misshapen. We all laughed at how silly it looked. Taking photos. Once we had picked our pumpkins, we took some time to take photos. The pumpkins looked so beautiful in the sunlight, and I wanted to remember this day. My dad took pictures of us with our pumpkins, and we posed in silly ways. It was so much fun. My mom suggested we take a family photo with all our pumpkins. We gathered them together and smiled for the camera. These photos would be great memories of our trip to the pumpkin patch. Enjoying fall activities. After picking pumpkins, we decided to explore more of the pumpkin patch. There were many fun activities to enjoy. We saw a hayride that took visitors around the fields. My parents and I decided to hop on and enjoy the ride. The hayride was relaxing, and we got to see all the beautiful pumpkins and scenery from the wagon. The driver told us fun facts about pumpkins and how they grow. I learned that pumpkins are part of the squash family and that they are grown in many different colors. Playing in the corn maze. After the hayride, we visited the corn maze. I love corn mazes because they are fun and a little challenging. We entered the maze and started to explore. The tall corn stalks surrounded us, and it felt like an adventure. We tried to find our way through the maze, and at first, it was easy. But then we got a bit lost. We laughed as we turned around and tried to figure out the right path. After some time, we finally found our way out. It was such a fun experience, and I loved spending this time with my family. Enjoying snacks and treats. Once we finished exploring the corn maze, we decided to take a break and enjoy some snacks. There was a stand selling fresh apple cider and donuts. My mouth watered at the thought of warm donuts, so we decided to get some. The apple cider was sweet and refreshing. The donuts were warm and fluffy, covered in cinnamon sugar. We sat at a picnic table and enjoyed our treats while talking about our day. Everything tasted delicious, and I felt happy and content. Shopping for decorations. After our snacks, we went to the pumpkin patch shop. They had many fun items for fall decorations. I looked at the handmade wreaths, candles, and decorations for Halloween. I found a cute little scarecrow that I wanted to put in my room. It was perfect for the season. My parents also looked for decorations for our home. We picked out a few things to bring back, including some autumn-themed table decorations. It was fun to browse through all the items and choose what we liked. Heading home. As the day came to an end, we gathered our pumpkins and decorations and headed back to the car. I felt tired but very happy. The trip to the pumpkin patch had been a wonderful experience filled with laughter and joy. On the drive home, I looked at the pumpkins in the back seat and smiled. I couldn't wait to carve them and decorate our home for Halloween. I also enjoyed looking at the beautiful autumn scenery outside the car window. Carving the pumpkins. Once we arrived home, I helped my parents bring in the pumpkins. I was excited to start carving them. We set up the kitchen table with all the tools we would need, including carving knives, spoons, and markers. I chose to carve a funny face on my big pumpkin, while my parents decided to create spooky designs on theirs. We spent the evening carefully carving the pumpkins and sharing ideas. It was a fun and creative activity that made me feel proud of our work. Lighting up the pumpkins. After we finished carving, we placed candles inside the pumpkins. Once the candles were lit, we turned off the lights to see how they looked in the dark. The glowing pumpkins looked amazing. We took pictures to capture the moment. Seeing our creations lit up made me feel happy. We placed the pumpkins on the porch, ready to welcome trick-or-treaters when Halloween arrived. I felt accomplished and excited for the spooky season ahead. Reflecting on the day. As I finished writing about my trip to the pumpkin patch, I felt grateful for the wonderful experiences of the day. I realized how important it is to spend time with family and create beautiful memories together. Going to the pumpkin patch is a special tradition for us, and I look forward to it every year. Each visit brings joy, laughter, and the excitement of autumn. I can't wait for the next adventure. Looking forward. I am looking forward to more autumn activities this season. I hope to visit haunted houses, go to fall festivals, and, of course, celebrate Halloween with my friends. Each of these experiences brings its own joy, and I am excited to share them with my loved ones. Good night, and I hope you also enjoy your autumn adventures and make wonderful memories. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. Remember, keep listening and repeating. That's the best way to learn English. Don't give up. You are doing great. See you in the next video. Bye for now.